The world did not fall into World War II by accident. It was pushed, slowly, deliberately, and violently, by anger left unresolved, by promises broken, by fear, pride, and ambition left unchecked. When the guns fell silent in 1918, the world believed it had survived the worst war in history, but the peace that followed was fragile, unfair, and dangerous. Beneath the surface of treaties and celebrations, resentment grew. Nations were humiliated, economies collapsed. Millions of veterans returned home broken, unemployed, and forgotten. And from this chaos, the deadliest conflict humanity has ever known began to take shape. The roots of World War II lie in the ashes of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles punished Germany harshly, stripping it of land, military power, and dignity. Germans were forced to accept blame for the war and pay massive reparations, plunging the country into economic despair. Inflation destroyed savings, hunger spread, democracy struggled. To many, the treaty felt less like peace and more like revenge. Across Europe and Asia, similar instability reigned. Old empires had collapsed, new borders were drawn carelessly, and ethnic tensions simmered everywhere. At the same time, the Great Depression struck the world in 1929, shattering economies and destroying faith in democratic systems. Unemployment soared, governments seemed powerless. In this desperation, extremist ideologies flourished. Fascism promised order, strength, and national revival. Militarism promised pride. Dictators promised greatness. In Germany, Adolf Hitler rose from obscurity to power by exploiting fear, anger, and nationalism. He promised to restore German pride, rebuild the military, and overturn the Treaty of Versailles. Once in power, he dismantled democracy, silenced opposition, and transformed Germany into a totalitarian state. The Nazi ideology was built on racism, anti-Semitism, and the belief that war and expansion were necessary for survival. Germany began rearming openly, defying international agreements, and the world watched, hesitant to act. In Italy, Benito Mussolini sought to revive the glory of the Roman Empire through conquest. In Japan, militarists dominated the government, believing expansion was essential for resources and survival. Japan invaded Manchuria, then China, committing brutal atrocities. These aggressions revealed a truth the world refused to face: another war was coming. The international community responded with appeasement. Leaders hoped that by giving dictators what they wanted, they could avoid conflict. Germany absorbed Austria. Then it took parts of Czechoslovakia. Each time the world protested, but did nothing. Appeasement did not stop war, it encouraged it. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland using a terrifying new tactic called Blitzkrieg, Lightning War. Tanks, aircraft, and infantry moved with speed and coordination never seen before. Poland fell in weeks. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. At first, the war seemed unstoppable in Germany's favor. One by one, European nations fell: Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, France. Paris was occupied. Europe stood under Nazi control. Britain stood alone, facing relentless bombing in the Battle of Britain. Night after night, German planes attacked cities, trying to break civilian morale, but Britain did not surrender. For the first time, Hitler was stopped. In 1941, the war expanded dramatically. Ignoring warnings, Hitler invaded the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa, opening the largest and deadliest front in history. Millions of soldiers clashed across vast landscapes. The fighting was brutal beyond imagination. Entire cities were destroyed. Civilians were targeted. Winter froze armies. Hunger killed millions. The Eastern Front became a war of annihilation. That same year, the war became truly global. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, dragging the United States into the conflict. Overnight, the balance of power shifted. America's industrial strength and manpower entered the war, transforming it into a global struggle across Europe, Africa, and the Pacific. The Pacific War was unlike anything before it. Fierce island battles, naval clashes, and air warfare defined the conflict. Japanese forces fought with extreme determination. Civilians suffered immensely. The war consumed entire populations. Meanwhile, behind the front lines, a crime beyond comprehension was unfolding: the Holocaust. Under Nazi rule, 6 million Jews were systematically murdered, along with millions of others deemed undesirable. Ghettos, mass shootings, and extermination camps turned genocide into an industrial process. The world would later struggle to understand how such horror was possible. By 1942, the tide of war slowly began to turn. In the Soviet Union, German forces were defeated at Stalingrad, a battle that marked a major turning point. In North Africa, Allied forces pushed back Axis armies. In the Pacific, American victories halted Japanese expansion. In 1944, the Allies launched the largest amphibious invasion in history, D-Day. Thousands of ships crossed the English Channel. Soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy under relentless fire. It was one of the most dangerous and decisive moments of the war. From that day forward, Nazi Germany was pushed steadily back. As Allied forces advanced, the full scale of Nazi crimes was revealed. Concentration camps were liberated. Survivors emerged from unimaginable suffering. The reality of the Holocaust shocked the world. In April 1945, Soviet forces reached Berlin. Hitler, defeated and isolated, took his own life. Germany surrendered soon after. In Europe, the war was over, but in the Pacific, it raged on. Japan refused to surrender despite devastating losses. The fighting continued at enormous human cost. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Entire cities were destroyed in seconds. The world entered the nuclear age. Japan surrendered. World War II ended. The cost of the war was staggering. More than 70 million people were dead. Cities lay in ruins. Entire nations were traumatized. But the war also reshaped the world. The United Nations was formed to prevent future conflict. Europe began rebuilding. Colonial empires weakened. Two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, emerged, setting the stage for the Cold War. World War II changed everything: politics, technology, borders, morality, and the human understanding of war itself. It showed both the depths of human cruelty and the heights of human courage. It proved that hatred, if left unchallenged, can destroy the world. And it reminded humanity that peace is fragile and must be protected. This was not just a war of nations, it was a war for the future of humanity. And this is why we tell these stories on Explainary: to remember, to understand, and to ensure that history's darkest chapters are never repeated.